And when I first got into it in the pandemic, when everybody got furloughed and started their own voiceover thing and,
podcasts.
I'm thinking I got to be better than everybody. So I just tried to beat everybody to everything. You need a 50-year-old woman? Sure, I'll be the 50-year-old woman. I was trying
Nice.
I auditioned for
Kudos.
everything. And then my business was failing. And the only time when my business actually started to flourish was when I decided to work with people and say, you know what, maybe I can't be the 50-year-old woman, but I can know a 50-year-old woman. And so on my website, I put up, a partner talent page and started referring work, and reciprocity is an amazing thing, isn't it?
It
you
is.
refer some work to somebody, you often get it in return, and that's not why you refer it, but it works back for you. And I know you do the same thing. You have some other voices who work with you, and working together, I probably should pick your brain more and work with you more because, we're in the same neck of the woods.
Let's repeat the non-conformist oath. I promise to be different. I promise to be unique. I promise not to repeat things other people say.
Welcome back to Positive Blatherings. It's another opportunity for me to sit down with a person who inspires me, who I think I can learn from, and who I like to chat with, Jon Goehring.
Fitz, I inspire you?
Well, to some extent. I don't know how
I appreciate
much. No,
that.
I'm just kidding. You're a very inspirational guy. I follow you on LinkedIn and the socials and stuff, and you're always doing positive things, and you're trying to help people. So that qualifies in my book for inspiration.
Likewise.
So,
I don't know if I'm as inspirational as Soccer Sam. You just had Soccer Sam on.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Self tours, like he is the man, but
I'll
30
years from now, you'll be a Soccer Sam.
We'll see about that.
So you're in radio. That's how I know we met at Stevens Media, where I was working at Fickle and you were working everywhere in there.
Trying to,
And you still do?
I do.
And I still fill in from times. I just filled in for Pat Rivers last week or whatever when he was on vacation.
Wow. Good for you.
So I still get to do that on Warm. I haven't been on Fickle or The Zone in a while. But yeah, so I still have my big toe in the Rochester radio pond that's shrinking, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the reality of it. But it was great meeting you back, working with you, 6, 7, 8 years ago, something like that.
Ago, yeah.
At this point, it feels like...
When did you start there?
I started in 17. Summer of 17 is when I interned there.
All right, and then that's right. You were an intern.
Yeah, officially started in 18, working, doing traffic. And I think that's how we met, right? Morning traffic. You did mornings on Fickle for a while?
Yeah.
It was a good time.
And I started doing traffic too. So there was a soft spot in my heart for the traffic guys.
That's how everybody gets into the industry. Huh?
Yeah, I know.
None of us stay there long, but
it's like, here, put him on traffic. Okay. Oh, he wants to keep doing it. Well, just let him do it then.
Yep. You want to come back and do traffic? We got actually looking for somebody right now.
If I didn't have to go there and I could dial it in, that would be awesome. No, I had my turn at traffic, and it was fun while it lasted. But it's you know how it is. You move on from things.
Freshman hazing. I mean, is that kind of what it's like? Except I did it for a few years, so I stuck around for more than my share.
How many? Let's see. I did it from 2012 to 2014. That's how long I did traffic.
It's about how long I did it,
but
too.
That was also between Stevens and I worked over at Entercom, now known as Odyssey.
Ah, you worked there, too.
I did 10 months of traffic there and fill-in guy.
So you've worked at 2 of the 3 major ones here in the area. Yes. iHeart you won't touch, though.
Well, I've actually not worked for iHeart, but I have hosted or co-hosted the Seniors Rock radio show, which is on iHeart on Saturdays at 11 with Joanna Palvino. But that was like that's not an employment thing.
Right.
That was a favor.
Yeah, well, you still do stuff for us, and we appreciate whenever. Anytime you want to come back. Just saying, extending that offer to you.
You know what? It's funny because, and I wanted to ask you about this when it comes to radio. Like, where do you see radio in the content creation sphere of influence?
Well, I tell my students, because I'm an adjunct at Brockport, and some of them want to go into radio because really they just like the sound of their own voice, right? Isn't that
Don't we all?
Why we all go into radio, right? We think we'd be good at it. And I tell them, learn radio, get into radio, start in radio, but don't marry radio. Learn the skills.
Because it'll cheat on you
Yeah.
and leave you for dead somewhere.
Exactly. Learn the skills because the skills are so transferable. I mean, here in your amazing space, look at what you're doing. You probably couldn't have done it without the radio background, right?
Definitely
And the
helps.
Experience there. And same thing with me. What I'm doing today, been able to launch my business because of my time in radio. So radio is still valuable, but when it comes to the content creation space, not a single hand has gone up. I've taught about 250 students now, 18 to 20-year-olds. Not a single hand has gone up when I ask the question, anybody listen to AM or FM radio?
Right.
Half of them don't even know what I'm talking about.
And
So
the ones that do are probably sports heads. Like they listen to the sportscast or something.
you're right. And they want to be,
And they wanna do that.
the next Dan Patrick or whatever, which is great until you realize how much it actually takes to become the Dan Patrick. You got to work in like Tupelo, Mississippi for 7 years and, eat rice and beans for,
Right. And that's
yeah.
it's interesting because when I was just talking about this the other day, talking about how I got my start, and I was going to the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale. Laugh if you want. I do.
that you went to art school?
No, that it was the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale. I don't even know if I'd call it art school just because art is in the name.
Uh-huh.
But I was in the 2-year broadcasting program, and it's like, they throw you through a crash course of broadcasting, and then you're expected to get a job. I was expecting to be doing the crop report on, in Wichita or something like
Right.
that. Like I was ready to move to Podunk, wherever, and start. And I just eventually, I took an internship in video and ended up not going the route of radio back then. But it's funny because you really need to like put your mind in that mindset of like, all right, I'm going to pay my dues. I'm going to go through all this crap. And that has so changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is so different now.
Well, there's so many opportunities now, even early on in your career, and that's a great thing, but you have to keep your mind open. All the kids go in thinking they want to do sports, and I went in thinking I want to do sports, right?
My class, there was I think 15 of us in my class, and probably almost all of them besides me wanted to do into sports.
Play-by-play broadcasting, right?
Yeah.
Because you like watching sports on TV and you listen to them and you go, I could do better than that, or I could do at least as good as that. And that's what they all want to go into. And you get into it and you go, okay.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's demanding. You can't be a sports fan. As soon as you get into sports broadcasting, you can't be a sports fan. And that's why I say, I'm out. I want to still have my weekends.
To have some sort of impartiality in there and report what you see, not what you feel.
Yeah, and you miss so much of it. You're not watching it on TV like you would be as a fan. So you miss so much of it because you're working. And so that's why I'm out of
You a
there.
big sports guy?
I do enjoy sports. I like college sports more. So I'm not your stereotypical, big Bills fan or big Sabres fan or whatever around here.
Who's your
but
team?
Syracuse Orange. So I root for the Orange. I went there for my master's, so I still follow the team.
All the sports or basketball, football?
Not so much track and field, but mostly the basketball.
You're not
football.
a big shot put guy?
Not as much. But our lacrosse is actually really good, men's and women's, for Syracuse, both ranked in the top 5. Football is, up and down, and basketball, we've seen better days, but of course that's the bread and butter for sports there.
It's funny because living and working up here in New York, because I grew up in South Florida, so I think about we didn't have professional hockey, NHL, until I was in my early 20s.
In Florida.
Because we didn't get the Panthers until 93, I think was their inaugural season.
And they've won like every Stanley Cup for the last how many years? They're like really good, aren't they?
They're really good?
Yeah.
I don't know. My nephew works for them.
Really?
He works in production, which is kind of funny because I work in production here for the Amherst. And and we're talking about play-by-play and stuff. The great Don Stevens is retiring. He's been there for 40 seasons. Ooh. And he makes it sound easy. Those guys make it sound easy where they're doing play-by-play and they're like, and I'm like, first of all, I can't follow hockey because I didn't grow up watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, we're watching him skate back and forth and everyone's like, oh, offsides. I'm like,
where?
How do you even know that? Or
I'm with you.
That was hooking. I'm like, what was? Where were you? I don't even know where you're looking. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked.
Yeah, I actually called one hockey game in college. So I called baseball, or softball, I should say. Softball, football, basketball, and hockey. Hardest one by far was hockey. I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah.
But what's funny is I got roped into doing color commentary for high school football and high school basketball. And it was the worst experience of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I like football. I'm not a football guy. I'm not a sports guy. I'm just not.
Sure. That's why you were the only one in your class who didn't want to go into sports, right?
Right. So it's like, growing up in South Florida, I was a Miami fan for a while, and then I was all different kinds of fans. But, I collected football cards and we played in the street and stuff like that. But when I got into my 20s and just started working and going after girls and stuff like that, it's like, trying to find a wife or whatever, or trying to get a career. I was more into movies at that time in my life than I was really into like sports, and not knocking it. I know there's a lot of people who they live and die by their sports team, and that's fine. You got to have something to believe in.
That's right.
That's bigger than you, whether it is or is not a sports team. But I just never got into it so fully that I do, fantasy football and stuff like that.
Right.
Which I see lots of people having a lot of fun, and that's great if that's your thing for fun. But if there's a game on and it's do I watch a football game, or do I watch Star Wars again for the 1300th time? I'm like, yeah, I might watch Star Wars. I know.
Because you know what happens. It's predictable. And again, most Bills games are predictable too, right?
That's true. It depends. But I do enjoy it. It's fun to watch, but I have to be in the mood for it.
Yeah. You have the right people around you, the kind of atmosphere.
I can understand my wife's point of view. I'm just kidding. So you're working in radio. You started your podcast business. What do you do? What's the name of your business?
StoryTrust Media.
StoryTrust Media. See, and you tell me you're not an inspiration.
Well, the idea is your stories build trust with your audience.
See,
and that's the truth. See? I've studied this because I work with
even if you're a liar. Even if you're a liar, your stories build trust with your audience.
I mean, we all build trust. It's just what kind of trust.
Right.
You could trust somebody to be late. You can trust somebody to always break your heart.
That's true.
Yeah. So it depends on what kind of trust you want to build. But yeah, working with coaches, consultants, some nonprofits too, on building their stories through the power of podcasting and repurposing that content for their brand. And kind of a lot what you do. I just don't have.
We're kind of arch enemies.
Sexy,
actually. Get the hell out of my studio.
Man, I don't take
this guy out of here. He's trying to poach my clients.
I don't have a studio like you. That's the problem, man. That's why you're kicking my ass right now.
No. We're on the same team.
No, we are. And
we're on the same team. And I firmly believe this, is that I have my people, you have your people, and we're always going to have our people. And there's plenty to go around. There's abundance everywhere.
There is.
So, as long as you do the right thing and you have the faith that you're supposed to have, it'll come to you.
Yeah, I tell this story on some podcasts that I go on to, especially when it comes to voiceover, because the voiceover industry can be so hyper competitive, right? And when I first got into it in the pandemic, when everybody got furloughed and started their own voiceover thing, and
podcasts,
I'm thinking I got to be better than everybody. So I just tried to beat everybody to everything. You need a 50-year-old woman? Sure, I'll be the 50-year-old woman. I was trying.
Nice.
I auditioned for everything, and then my business was failing. And the only time when my business actually started to flourish was when I decided to work with people and say, you know what, maybe I can't be the 50-year-old woman, but I can know a 50-year-old woman. And so on my website, I put up, a partner talent page and started referring work. And reciprocity is an amazing thing, isn't it?
It is.
Refer some work to somebody, you often get it in return. And that's not why you refer it, but it works back for you. And I know you do the same thing. You have some other voices who work with you, and working together, I probably should pick your brain more and work with you more because, we're in the same neck of the woods.
That's always an option. My door's always open to you. It always has been and always will be. And that's what I like. I like this community that we've built here in Rochester, and even beyond Rochester, because we both know people across the country and the world and stuff. But that ability to help each other out. Like, hey, I got this question, or I got this problem, and I'm trying to solve it. And, some people are like, yeah, no, I'm not going to tell you how to fix that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, but I'm all about that, and I've been burned quite a few times. I've had people ask me to help them put a studio together, and then they go ahead and they turn out to be my competition. And I'm like, okay, but you know what? They're not in business anymore.
Right. And the most successful business people, you listen to them, they're all givers.
Yeah.
All givers.
And that's why I just became a Rotarian. I just joined the Rochester Rotary. We're on the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce, Visit Rochester. So we're part of these groups, and we want to give back in some way, if time is a problem.
Time.
Do you find like having enough time?
Oh, yeah, that's
a problem.
That's the most valuable resource in life, and
it's ridiculous. And we're running out of it.
And we don't even have kids running around the house yet.
Yet.
So
he said, "Yet." You hear that?
So that's like I can't even imagine.
You just recently got married, right?
Yeah,
in the last couple of years.
It's been 3 now.
Has it been 3?
We're about to celebrate.
Yeah, so you guys are newlyweds. Come on.
Yeah, but when you approach 30, you're getting close to 30. That clock is ticking.
So how old are you?
27.
You're 27.
Yeah.
So I got married at 29.
Okay. Just
before my 30th birthday, months before. So you're a little bit ahead of the game.
A little head start. Well, when you find the right one,
But I also we had our first child a few months after we got married. So we were a little ahead of the game, ahead. But
I was going to say, that was a quick one.
Yeah. And then the next one came out 13 months later. And then,
Wow.
We got them all done fast.
It's not a bad idea, actually. It's just get it over with.
Terrible idea. It's always a good idea to plan them, financially, and, just have a plan.
A plan. I don't know how you plan when you don't. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, I don't have enough time in my day right now. What am I going to do when but anyway.
You find a way.
That's what I hear. You just figure it out.
Yeah.
God just blesses you with whatever.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So you're a very faithful guy.
Faith, yeah.
How has that influenced the way you work and the people you work with and some of the projects that you choose to work on?
Well, I don't believe in going around, banging Bibles all over people's heads. I don't think that's productive, but I think that the way Jesus lived is a great example for all of us to live. And I just try to treat people the way that Jesus would have treated them. And what does that mean? That means love. It really does mean love. I mean, so much, if you believe in Jesus, he gave his life for you. So, the idea of, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to go to that extent and be dying for people over here. But at the same time, he extended a hand to people who were outcasts in society. I want to do the same with my life and live the way that Jesus lived and just follow that as the ultimate example. So integrity and honesty in the way that I conduct business and ultimately glorify God. That doesn't mean preaching, but just glorify God.
Yeah. And it's so simple well, in my opinion, it's a simple way to live, because it should be natural. It should come from you. And I'm not saying that naturally you should believe in Jesus. I'm just saying the most religions teach the same thing.
Yeah, the same.
Love thy neighbor, do, for the lesser of us and that kind of thing. And of course, a lot of people screw that message up.
In the name of their own religion.
Right, exactly.
Which is the ironic thing. Yeah, and that's why I don't like to call myself, people say, oh, you're so religious. I'm not religious. I don't think I'm religious. I don't pray all these times a day. Maybe I should, but I don't.
Right.
I probably haven't prayed in 4 days, but it's just, I'm not religious.
But it's just a matter of, it's a way of living.
Yes.
With love being at the forefront.
That's right. And that's ultimately what we should be doing. And then you sleep better at night, too. It's the beauty of it. I mean, we talk about collaboration in business. You may not make as much money in the short term as you would if you trampled on everybody, but you know what? Sleeping good at night, to me, is much more valuable than anything else.
And I think the people that trample over people don't have trouble sleeping anyway. At least that's what they claim. Maybe not right away, but I don't know. There's a lot of things that have happened in business that I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that. It looked like it was, maybe it was easy money but it wasn't the message that I wanted to be a part of,
Yeah, and I mean, I've certainly made some mistakes, and I'm sure you have too over the years. And
making one right now.
Treating you jerk, treating people, poorly, and being dishonest with people, and that's why we're not perfect. That's why we need to be forgiven, right? But at the same time, just using that as a guidepost in your life, and I think that's really important to have.
Yeah. So, what are your ultimate goals?
Great question.
Like when it comes to business and stuff like that. Own the world or
business? I want to be Scott Fitzgerald. That's what I want
to. Watch what you say.
Careful what you wish for.
Creditors, they're knocking on your door now. You owe us money.
No, I want to help people. Continue to help people magnify their conversations and get them out there in the world. And I know that sounds like a cliche answer, but I do want to grow my business and continue, pursuing the podcast production front of things, because I think that's more sustainable long term and ultimately more fulfilling to highlight some of these great voices and help them produce content that they can't produce on their own, or they just don't want to take the time to do. Yeah. And I would love to be at a point where right now with a virtual assistant, I'd love to, bring on somebody maybe full time, or bring on a couple of different full time employees or people helping out.
Virtual assistant?
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
How does that work?
Mixed results.
Yeah.
Offshoring is a very common thing that people do to save costs on things, which with pros and cons. Some of them are very good. Some of them, they're good at a certain area.
Yeah.
But it's difficult. But it does, if it's a very, repeatable task that you can train them how to do, it can be a very effective way to go. And you actually are paying them very well, from what I understand, in their currency.
Right.
So, it feels like you're taking advantage of someone. Here's $7 an hour. And you're like, what am I doing here?
And it's 6 more than they would have been making.
That's right. That's the idea.
So if you were to pay them $20 an hour, it'd almost be like, no, I can't accept this money.
Right. And in their culture, I think that's a lot of cultures. There's a lot of that. And I'm sorry, I can't, accept that. And in our culture, it's like 20.
Get out of here.
I mean, where's the extra zero on
Beat
the end
it,
of that?
pal.
Yeah.
What about AI? How are you? You have the same love-hate relationship with AI that I do?
Absolutely. You got to use it. But then when you start using it too much, you realize this actually can't replace me. The more you use it, the more comfortable you are that it's not going to replace you. At least not at this point. Voiceover, that's one area where I've seen a lot of clients go the way of AI. Some of them come back, some of them don't, which is fine. But
I think a lot of it clears off a lot of the low stuff that wouldn't really make a difference to you anyway.
You're right. Like those narrations, some of the random YouTube videos that you narrate,
right. The little projects that, this guy comes to you and says, hey, I want to do this. And, you charge him $100 or whatever, and you move, or $300 or whatever, and you move on. And he never comes back because he never does anything anymore.
Right.
Or something.
That's true.
So what are you using as far as AI is concerned?
So Descript's AI is phenomenal. It's an editor. Basically, you can communicate with the chatbot to do your editing for you. Now the chatbot screws things up.
I haven't done that yet. But what do they call that again?
The Underlord.
That's right.
The Underlord. Isn't that?
It sounds so evil.
It does.
It sounds.
And sometimes it is evil. Believe me, it'll manipulate and screw up your project. And sometimes I'm just like, that's the love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
I'm like, screw you. I'm just going to do this my own way. Yeah. And I have to manually do it. But I've kind of gotten into a nice groove of what can be automated and what I need to do manually. And gotten into a nice production workflow. So I love that. Claude is obviously kind of a go-to.
Yeah, I just switched over to Claude.
Claude is phenomenal for content creation in general. And obviously you don't want to just, hey, Claude, write me show notes and then just copy paste. But
a lot of people, and that's the thing with since ChatGPT and all that stuff has really gained popularity, you see it everywhere. You see all the show notes, everything's this. It's like you could tell by the layout that it was spit out by some sort of AI bot.
Even if people were to just take out the M dashes, just take out the M dashes, you might fool me. But no, and then there's the people, I always write with M dashes. Okay. All right. But anyway, yeah, Claude is great. And then Claude also has this thing called an MCP, what is it, multi-context protocol or something, where you can hook it up to, say, Canva, and you can create your graphics Canva with that, or Photoshop or whatever. I haven't really done that yet because honestly, communicating with a chat bot about what I want is going to take about the same amount of time as just doing it.
And that's where I'm at too, is like, so I'll use the AI in DaVinci Resolve for the multicam, where you tell it to sync the multiple camera angles, and then you say switch it, and it'll switch it, and it's pretty good for the most part. Most of the stuff, like right now, we're switching it live, so we don't have to do it in post.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that's what we prefer to do, but it doesn't always work that way. Or sometimes, believe it or not, I'll screw up a switch, and then I got to go back and fix it. And the only way to fix it is because I'm rolling in the cameras too, or at least I thought it was. And I got to go back to the original camera shot and go in and fix that thing. And that automation helps me to easily sync the things up and then go through and switch it or whatever. And like, we use Descript for different things. Mm-hmm. We've tried a lot of different AI programs, and they all just kind of ended up being roughly the same. And we did notice a difference in the human touch, or the lack of human touch. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. Finding that happy medium to where you're using things to help kind of automate, save you some time, but not take over, and you still have your creative input, and you can still do your human thing. Yeah. And
you review it. You read it back. You read the show notes.
Wait, you're supposed to read it back? You're supposed to review it? It's done. Post. Bye.
Well, with Underlord, I'll tell you.
The Underlord
will make mistakes, and that's the...
What are you doing, John? Why did you post that?
It's like the thing. I just watched The Fifth Element the other day. Do you remember that movie?
I'm not familiar with that.
You're not familiar with The Fifth Element?
Not familiar with what year are we talking? Remember when I was born?
I think it's probably 96 or 7.
It's before my time. It's before I was born.
Damn it.
I'm a Gen Zer. They call me Gen Z.
Damn it.
I'm associated with that generation.
It's a Bruce Willis movie.
Okay. All right. I'm not a big movie guy.
That's right.
You and I are kind of... We're at odds.
I told you we're mortal enemies. We shouldn't be in the same room.
We won't. You wouldn't think we'd have a ton to talk about. You mentioned a movie. I referenced...
Oh, no. I think both of us are the kind of people that can talk about anything.
Pretty much.
Might not know what we're talking about, but we'll talk about it.
And I'm the kind of person who just walks up and asks somebody a deep question too, and I'm just. Are you
an extrovert?
I'm more of an extrovert. I'd like to think so. I like hearing about people's lives. I mean, Fitz, what's the biggest challenge in your life right now? And my wife looks at me like, "What do you like? No, just talk about."
You just go up to a total stranger and say, "Well, what's the biggest challenge in your life right now?"
Honestly, that builds confidence, and you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many people would actually talk to you.
Oh, I'm sure.
Funny.
I think a lot of people would talk to you just to not be rude.
Fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough.
But then there's a lot of people who would just say, no thanks.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for someone who can walk up to someone, a complete stranger, and just jump right into an engaging conversation like that. That's very difficult for me.
Well, that's what I like to do. That doesn't mean it always happens, but
not all the situations present themselves that way. But so you have no problem going out and networking. No. You go to a networking event, you're like, hey, life of the party, blah, blah, blah. What's up?
Yeah, I don't know about life of the party. I feel like people have complimented my listening skills more than my speaking skills.
Well, that's important.
Yeah, which is, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? Isn't that what they say? But I think that's really important. And, I try to build relationships that way. And, networking is fun, but I also noticed that there's some people who are like chronic networkers.
Oh yeah.
Like they just spend all their time networking. It's like, how do you have time to actually do anything else?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't want to be one of those guys.
Right. When you start dabbling in the networking community in Rochester, you see them.
It's the same people.
The same people are at all these things. I'm like, how do you even... Are you just at these events all the time?
I mean, we're talking to you, David Mamano, right? The fact that you know that name is proof, right?
I can't throw shade. He's one of my clients.
Oh, and I love the dude. He's a great dude. He's one of your clients. How funny, yeah. But it's just, we know that scene. And the fact that we know him means that we're almost part of that ourselves, right? So that's the funny part, but it's true.
But there's something that we can learn. There's something that we can learn from those people.
Absolutely.
Whether it's the right thing to do or what not to do, depends on you.
Mm-hmm. It sure does.
I mean,
yeah.
My damn choked on my water.
Wow.
Hey, but at least I'm drinking water. Usually it would be a Diet Mountain Dew here, but I'm trying. I'm trying to hydrate.
I saw that in the frame of some of your past episodes.
every past episode.
So I've been drinking 100 ounces a day, and I've never felt better, quite honestly.
Really? 100 ounces a day?
Yeah.
What's that in gallons?
It's around 1 gallon, isn't it?
I don't know how many ounces are in a gallon.
I think it's 128. Is it 128 in a gallon? I think so. I could be wrong, but I've honestly never peed more in my life.
Oh yeah.
But I've still never felt better.
No, hydration is so important, and I've realized it lately that I'm very dehydrated.
Yeah. And most of us are. That's a chronic. I mean, if your pee is not crystal clear white, you're probably at least slightly dehydrated.
What's the color? Your pee is nice.
It's pretty crystal clear.
Crystal clear.
Most of the time, when you wake up in the morning, that's when you're most dehydrated. So I'll have a little tint there in the morning. But for the most part, I tell you, I'll talk about anything.
Was it like no? So someone bring in a crystal glass. We're gonna do a hydration test.
A live test.
Yeah, we're gonna put them side by side. And we're going to say, all right, so this is my pee and this is John's pee. And we're going to say,
do it under the table here. But yeah, no. And everybody, they talk about whatever supplement or whatever they're on. I'm like, water's the way to go. Now, obviously there's more that it's important to health, but I've never felt better.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm trying. I was really good at drinking a lot of water before. And then it's like, I hate to say this, it comes in waves.
It does.
Terrible. No, but that's like I'll go through these phases where I'm like really, really into health and this and that, and then I'll forget.
Well, you look good right now.
Oh,
so you're clearly doing something right.
Started I bought a rowing machine.
Rowing?
Yeah.
Wow, that's random, but pretty awesome.
I know it's so like 1950s health and fitness, but it's this hydro rowing machine. It's got a screen, and you can row down like various waterways.
Cool.
So it's not as boring as if you were just doing the rowing thing. It's a really fun way of getting my because I don't like jogging.
No.
I don't like I have a bike, but
that's what I do.
For most of the time I'm not riding it because it's 20 out.
Oh, you mean an outdoor bike? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you got
I've been getting into
bike?
the indoor cycling, going to spin class twice a week and
cool.
Just trying to get into that.
Did you ever do any of Marty Casper's spin classes?
No, I haven't. I did not know Marty did that.
I don't know if she still does, but for all the time that I worked with her, she taught a lot of spin classes. Like she was doing like 2 or 3 a week or something. Yeah.
Wow. That is the best exercise I've ever. I mean, I played tennis throughout my childhood and everything. I still do sometimes, but there's nothing better than getting on a bike for 60, 90 minutes and just sweating it all out.
Yeah.
You feel like a new person afterwards.
And you're plenty hydrated, so you have no problem.
That's why. The problem is you don't want to drink too much water and flush all your salt out. So a little mix of water and pickle juice.
There you go.
The key.
Ooh.
No,
I've heard that before, but that just sounds horrid. This is like what's it? John Tesh.
It does feel a little John Tesh-ish. What else did you want to talk about?
What is it called?
Intelligence for your life.
Intelligence for your life. I should know.
With John Tesh. Yes.
Read that liner a dozen times. So that it's cool that you've been able to pivot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Big pivot. When you went to school for communications to be in radio?
Yes. Journalism and broadcasting is what they called it, the catch-all. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were, what is it? 89.1
The Point. Yep. The student radio station.
Matt Wilson.
Matt Wilson. So you know Big Matt.
I know Matt. Yeah.
That's fantastic because I'm actually seeing him later today. I'm going to talk at the Point meeting, and actually Joe LaMonaco is going to be there too.
Jolo. I love that man.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and looking forward to I always love stopping by because now I adjunct there, and so I get the chance to go. Anytime you want to smile, you go see Matt, and he gives you a big hug, and he's just a phenomenal guy, and I went to school with him there actually, and
really?
And now he's the he's the big guy running it.
You know, and that's one of the things that I love about just even though the broadcasting community is maybe fragmented and not as solid as it used to be, there's still a core group of people that, regardless of what station you work for, what company you work for, everybody's got each other's backs. You know, you can always reach out and be like, hey, I got this situation, or I got this problem, or I need advice. And people like Joe, people like Matt, people like you. I mean, it's just incredible. Have you gone to the Christmas or the holiday luncheon?
That's what I was just going to say. I mean, you've arrived, and apparently I haven't arrived because I haven't been invited to the luncheon.
Oh, just reach out to Barry V. He'll give you
Barry V? Okay, all right. I was going to say, because that's the one thing where everybody's talking about this luncheon for the broadcasters. And I'm like, man, I thought I made it here in Rochester, but
this past one was my first.
Okay, so you just made it too.
I've been invited for the last couple of years, but never been able to go. But it's as easy as if you want to be invited, just reach out. Wow. And I know there's something kind of cheesy about that. You're like, I want to go too, but there's so many people now that are working that deserve to go, that should go, but they don't know everybody.
Right.
You know, so, and because it used to be the Rochester, the broadcast, it was like Radio Legends lunch hour or Radio Legends luncheon. So it was people like, all the old school guys.
Tony Infantino's there.
Like all those guys, and Dino and
Weeze is there, and us.
I don't know if
little folk
might have gone.
See social enough. Yeah, I don't know. But we're just not.
Yeah, and I remember Dino saying, "Hey, you should go to the luncheon." I'm like, I'm not going to the broadcaster legend. I'm like, I do not belong in that room, pal. And then that's when they changed it. They're like, you know what? Let's not call it that anymore. We're really leaving a lot of people out, but it was cool. I sat with Pat Rivers.
Oh, Pat's a legend too.
Yeah.
Pat, wow. He's an so you got to fill in for him a little while ago.
Yeah. He's one of my mentors.
Oh, he's
from way back. Because I remember when I started working at Stevens and I was hired to fill in. I was just a swing guy, so I was like filling in on warm and filling in on traffic. And it was like Pat was training me, and I had like a couple of seconds of dead air, and I'm like, and I was all pissed off.
You're all like,
And he's like, nobody died.
Don't sweat it. Nobody's
gonna die. Nobody's gonna die if you have a couple of seconds of dead air. Just don't do it.
Favorite. Yeah, don't do it again.
Just don't do it again. But no one's gonna die. And I joke around about that, but I say it all the time that is the kind of that's the kind of advice that I come back to a lot. Mm-hmm. Where when I'm really wrapped up in myself and I'm like, and then I think about it and I'm like, hold on a second, nobody's gonna die.
Nobody died. Yeah,
so this isn't rocket surgery, right? Is that the correct?
I don't think that's even a thing. Okay.
Yes, it is. There's a rocket doctor. No. But you know what I mean? It's not brain surgery. It's not heart surgery. Right. It's not like, oh God, if I screw this up, there goes everything.
Puts what we do into perspective. I mean, it's important, we're the voice of the community and all that, but like it does put it into perspective. Yeah. And we're allowed to make mistakes. And unless, it's too much of a habit.
I mean, there's a lot of terms. It's like, fail your way forward and things like that. And I mean, how many times, can you count on your hand how many times you've failed in the last 10 years?
The last 10 minutes.
The last 10 minutes, hey! Touche.
Yeah,
touche.
Seriously. No, and that is how you make steps forward. I mean, I know it is cliche, but it is the way forward. If you haven't failed big enough, that's why I always say to people like with their podcast, I'm sure you probably do the same thing. Everybody's trying to figure out like the right setup and the right cameras and mics. And I'm like, get started. Just get started.
It really is great advice because you can get stuck on all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And there's so many opportunities. When I opened this studio in 2018, there weren't a whole lot of options to set up a studio. Like the Rodecaster Pro didn't exist.
That's crazy.
It wasn't around.
My go-to. You're kidding.
No, and that's like that was a huge game changer when that came out. I'm like, oh, now you come up with one, right? I had to get a mixer board and I had to run it. I had to do everything kind of the old school way. and which was cool. And I still do it that way, but we do have a Rodecaster, but we don't use it we use it for remote stuff or, off-site stuff.
Yeah.
But like the amount of gear that's come out in the last 5 years for this kind of stuff is mind blowing.
It is. I mean, even some of the stuff that I'm just looking around at in this room, cameras have gotten smaller and still really, really good. You even got our own little mixers here. What are these, Scarletts or something? They're non-Scarlett Scarletts, but still. Yeah.
Oh, these?
Yeah. What are those little things?
It's a Whirlwind
no, it's not a Scarlett. Okay.
Headphone amplifier.
Yeah. Okay. So that's just for our headphones, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, just the amount of things that are available, and I'm grateful for that because I'm not an equipment head.
I wish I weren't. I wish I weren't a gearhead. Every dime I make in this business goes right into some cool toy.
So you have a lot of write-offs at the end of the year. Do you pay anything? And you're just...
Oh, yeah. Some. No, but that's the drawback of this line of work too, because
you're right.
They're always coming out with a new toy, a new thing to do things better. And sometimes it's legit. It's like, oh yeah, you do have to have this. This is a game changer. And then sometimes it's just, a bell and whistle that you don't really need. It would be cool to have, but
it's important to know the difference though, because
and it's hard to.
Yeah,
it's hard to know.
It really is.
What do you What's your go-to like for a mic? What's your go-to mic?
Well, the ones in the radio studios I'm familiar with. So the Electro Voice RE20 is, I have a couple of those. I do have a Rode NT1. I'm trying to think. Those are kind of like my main ones. I've played around with, I've used a Neumann before just to play around with the higher end stuff. And it's just for podcasting, it's just so sensitive. Yeah. And is this even necessary? So I always recommend for people price is a great indicator, and that $200 to $400 range is a great range to be. Although with inflation, I should probably adjust those numbers. That $300 to $500 range is probably about the place to be. But if you're trying to spend $1,000 on a mic, that's great for what do they call it in your line of work in the film?
Voiceover?
Foley, the film stuff. Anything in
Foley,
not Foley.
Foley. It is Foley.
Foley, yeah. Whatever, the very high quality sound effects and some of the voiceover stuff maybe for a high-end audiobook or whatever. Okay, you want that very sensitive microphone, but sensitivity is an important piece. And you also have to
make sure that your environment is set up for that kind of mic. These dynamic mics are perfect for this environment because they're not overly sensitive. They need a lot of boost. So you have a lot of play with them. And I love, these are the Rode Procasters.
Oh, is that what this is? Yeah. I was wondering what I was talking into.
I mean, it's essentially the sister mic to the RE20. It's very similar.
It looks similar. Unidirectional, probably, right?
These things I have. How many do I have of these? I have 8 of them. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I have 7 of these. And then the pod mics are similar.
You do spend a lot on equipment.
Don't get me started.
My business is low budget compared to yours.
Yeah, but you also have lower overhead. And you can take home more of your money.
Exactly.
So revel in that.
I mean, that's the value of working with people, because what you do a lot of is, people in studio, right? So you got a lot of people coming in physically to the studio. Since I'm working out of my house right now, mostly, my wife would kill me. So we're not having people coming into the studio, but we're doing a lot remotely.
We could find opportunities to work together to where if you had a client and you needed a studio situation, we could work together and I can give you a better rate and you can work that into your rate. And this could be kind of like a backup studio for you, that kind of thing. Keep that, in mind.
Definitely. That could be a win-win.
Yeah. I like to work with people in the industry. There's a lot of people that come in here to do voiceover people that don't have a setup at home.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Do regular things that will come in here and I give them a special rate for it. And because we know we're going to work together a lot and stuff like that. That's what I like. That's what I love about this industry. And we're talking about, just how broadcasters got each other's backs, but we all kind of do that in the overarching production community here in Rochester.
Which is beyond, like you said, kind of even beyond broadcasters in a traditional sense, but just, all of us people, one when you see one, right? We're usually not the best looking people. We
Speak for yourself, pal.
Face for radio. That's what that's what my wife
We're a little
teases
bit
me
dirty.
about.
We're a little bit sweaty. Doesn't look like they come out to the sun too often.
That's us. But no, we do have our backs. And, it's funny because you do some Rochester Speaks, right, is the program that we have for our Stevens Media Group, public affairs, they call it.
Yep.
But I've really tried to turn it, since I've taken it on, I've really tried to turn it into an opportunity for these, not just to check a public affairs FCC compliance box for the stations, but try to really give a chance to shine the light on some of these people. And what I've found out from nonprofits and in our area is that this Rochester is so blessed with some incredible people who just have the heart of gold. I mean, from the amounts of organizations that come in, they're just doing amazing work. And these people who are, foregoing a place where they could work and get a larger salary, but pouring all their time and effort into, a local small nonprofit. It's inspiring to me. And I know you also do a little bit of that as well. So I know you're involved in that community too. Yeah.
The nonprofit world is very interesting to me, and I'm starting to work more in it. Of course, I'm on the board at Sobriety Sounds. Yep. I'm looking at joining 2 other boards.
Really?
2 other nonprofit boards. I'm probably, diluting myself a little bit because I don't have enough time, but I want to have time. I really do. They all do such great work, and so important. And it's like, and I could be helpful to them. I can help them with whatever they're doing in their content creation, or, even doing a Rochester Speaks or doing that kind of a thing here and just putting it out on the interwebs, that kind of thing. And I love doing that. And that's why I gravitate toward other people who work with nonprofits. And I understand that there's not a whole lot of money in nonprofits, hence the name nonprofit. But
and especially now too, a lot of the funding has been cut and all those things.
And now it's even more crucial of a time to step up and try to donate your time to those organizations that need you. Well, it's coming up on that time, 45 minutes.
What is that time? Oh, look at that. We got a clock over
45
there.
Minutes.
Wow, professional studio setup with that. It's 0 o'clock here, everybody. 0 o'clock.
0 o'clock. So what would you say, like, if you could go back and give your 15-year-old self some advice, what would your advice be to that?
Don't get on.
Teen.
Don't even start with social media. Okay?
Right.
For one thing, I deleted all social media apps on my phone, but LinkedIn. And to be honest,
is that all you're on now? Is LinkedIn?
I'm just on LinkedIn. I mean, technically, I'm on others, but I'm not active. And it's the only place I can leave feeling at least as good, maybe better than when I came on. So
interesting.
But overarching, because it's cliche to say, oh, don't get on social media. But my 15-year-old self, there's different paths to success. Take your own. Don't put too much stock into what everybody else is prescribing for you. Oh, you need to do this and that. And if you really want to be successful, this is what you have to do. It's just not true. It's
listen to your heart.
Yeah, it is cliche, and now we all got that in our listen to your heart right now. But it's true, and not in like a just take follow where the wind leads. Like no, but if you want to do something, if you really want to do something in life, you go to the people who have done it and gather all of their advice, but talk to enough people so that you can see enough variety of ways that they did it, and that'll show you how there's not one way to do it. You don't have to exactly follow somebody's prescription for success in your life.
Yeah, and we see that a lot, especially on social media. I've got a lot of respect for you to do that because, especially as a business owner, social media is kind of like we have to be there. It's a thing that we have to do, and we don't like to do it. And I mean, I'm on it all the time, and sometimes I go, ugh, I got to put this down, and like one of my friends is doing, ditching social media for the weekend, just putting it away and not touching it. And I mean, that's a good challenge, I think, for anybody.
I think you're right. I think we, like you said, businesses, we all have to be on social media, but I do think there's a misconception that we have to be everywhere all the time.
Right. No, that's true.
And that's one of those things where it's
true.
That's one of the things that I've pushed back on. Like, wait a second. So
do I really?
Gary V, has a lot of great things to say, but some of his advice and the advice coming from that corner of the internet, it's like there's more ways to be successful than just, the ways that they're telling you. But
yeah, because there's always a guru.
There's always a guru.
Think about the podcast space, right?
Yeah.
Think about how many people say, I can get you, in 5 clicks can get you 118,000 new followers or whatever, something like that. And you're like, really?
So what's the value of those followers?
Yeah.
Ultimately.
They're all bots. They're all fakes.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm glad you took the time to come out to ROC Vox in beautiful downtown Bushnell's Basin.
Thank you. I love Bushnell's Basin. We got Salvatore's. We got Tom Walls over there.
Of the East Side.
Honestly, if the whole East Side looked like this, I'd probably consider moving out here.
You're on the west side?
Yeah, we're in Greece.
Yeah, but you go to Brockport all the time. You've got to be. That would suck if you lived here and had to drive out to Brockport.
That's true. Yeah. No, it's not happening. My wife also won't let us move to the east side with those people. Right?
Oh, you people.
Yeah. Like the Fitzes of the world.
Oh, gosh. Well, so how can people find you if they want to choose you over me?
StoryTrust.media or on LinkedIn, Jon Goehring, where we can all talk. We can all talk. And if you're looking to do something in person, come to ROC Vox. If if you just want an option, and want to talk about virtual or extra content creation support, you can check out StoryTrust.media.
StoryTrust.media. Awesome. Thanks, Jon. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, Fitz.
See you around town.
Love it.
StoryTrust.com